Hey there, boys and girls, men and women of all walks of life and ages. Here we are on the other side of the garage today. Welcome to the garage. Um, I just want to keep you up to date on something I'm doing here. This isn't going to be an exotic, exciting video of me playing a guitar or something like that, even though those really aren't that exciting. Let's be honest with each other. Anyway, as you know, I've got a couple of dual sonics I've been working on. I kind of demoed the green one, but it was not finished. It needed a lot of setup work. There was frets fretting out, especially down near the bottom, near the nut. You know, it just wasn't performing well, and it really needs a good fine tuning. So I may even redo that and put another video out when it's all done. So anywho, today I just kind of took this thing out, this Paul Reed Smith kit. Now I unboxed it for you a while back, but I wanted to show you what I'm doing with it and this process that I'm going through, because it might be of interest to some of you guys out there who are just starting out building and stuff, kind of like I am. I've only built a couple of kits, but I've watched and made lots of mistakes. I've made some good choices and some bad choices on how to do things, in what order to do them in, so things like that. So anyways, what I'm going to talk to you about is the veneer on this Paul Reed Smith here. Now I'll try my best to show it to you. I don't know how the light's going to pick it up, but I'll bring it over here and I'll just kind of move it around so that you can hopefully see some of this. It just might not pick it up, and it might. You just never know. It's a nice veneer. It's a flame maple, and I don't know if I can hold it up close enough to the camera without it being a big blur, but the veneer is very thin. Now, it's typical of these. Like a Paul Reed Smith will have a whole cap on it, like 3/8 of an inch thick. This does not have that. This is probably a 32nd of an inch thick, but it's enough to where I watched an awful lot of videos on these guys building this particular type of guitar or anything with a flame maple top. And a lot of them end up kind of not screwing it up, but making the mistake of sanding too much on a top like this, because there's just not a lot to sand. So anyways, I thought I'd just kind of show you what I was going to do today, or had done. And I just ran my hands over it to see how it felt, and sure enough, because of all these different pieces or these darker spots, a lot of this is ripply. It's got peaks and valleys in it. And I don't know if you know this, but if you go ahead and finish a guitar like that and clear it off and everything, it's going to have like waves in it. You look at any nice Les Paul, Strat, anything, those things are just flat smooth. You can't see any dips, valleys, anything, but that's because they're professional and they really got all the right equipment and blah blah blah. Not saying I can't do that, it's just hard. So anyways, that's kind of what I decided to do today, just for a little while this morning, because hey, guess what, today is my 22nd wedding anniversary. Married to the same great gal for all those years. But isn't it strange that it happened that we got married in 2019, and 2 years later, what happens? 9/11, Twin Towers. We go out to our fancy anniversary dinner, and everybody's bummed out, and so were we. But I mean, it was just it was a weird, that first year was, and even the second year was kind of just weird. People were still in that frame of mind. And, we need to remember that too. We need to remember things that happen to this great country that are negative. It doesn't mean that, we're going to go out and bomb somebody. It means that we need to remember it and be alert in this country. Anywho, all that fancy stuff aside. So I got out the old 600 grit sandpaper. This is wet and dry, but I didn't use it wet. I just used dry. And, I just lightly went over this thing, because like I said, what happens with these people is they sand too much. Like, some of the guys would have taken like 320, even 220 to this. You just can't do that, I don't think, and have a good outcome, because it sands through. So it'll be a big white streak, from the color of the wood underneath. This is probably walnut underneath here, or basswood maybe. but this ain't basswood, so you'd see a big streak. And that's what I'm trying to avoid, that little mistake. So I did the sides and I did the back a little bit. They're pretty smooth now. I can't show this to you because I don't think my lighting will pick it up, and I just can't get the camera close enough. But there are some little divots, little spots in here that aren't perfect, and luckily they're on the side. I've really found nothing on the top, which is the most important part, because that's the part everybody's going to look at when it's done being stained. And I've got some little wood putty over there, and I've got some little chunks of this wood that came out of here that I can mix with that putty and put in these few little little dings, I guess you'd call them, because you can't have that, because that'll show up too. So hopefully that other, when you mix it with wood, people use all kinds of different techniques. They use linseed oil and mix the wood in with it. They call it a slurry, I think, something like that. Anywho, that's what I'm doing today, and I wanted to keep you in the loop. You know, I can't show you the other Duosonic I'm working on right now because it's only in an early stage of staining, and I'm waiting on some more products, so it's not even worthwhile really showing it to you at this point. I'm doing something I think is pretty cool. Now, it's not unique. It's not like nobody's ever done something like this before, because they certainly have, but I did a kind of my own little different take on it, and it's going to be like a little story when I get done with it, as most of my stuff turns out to be some kind of a story. Anyways, and as we all know that the background music you're listening to today, of course, I created that. It's nothing astounding or exciting. It's just I made it. It's on a loop pedal, so therefore I can't sell it to you for $100 million, but I know you want it really bad. And that's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to try my best to, through my little, what do you call it, a music catalog. I have 2 CDs that I made a long time ago. We're talking 1995 here, guys. So, you know, and I cannot play like I did in 1995. I'm an old dude now. Some people might call me an old fart. I don't know. But anywho, I'll just run different loops different times. Some of them are so short that they're kind of not, you know, worth running, because there's not a, what would be a chorus or a bridge or anything on there, and there's no lyrics to anything here. Anywho, that's what I was doing today. I wanted to keep you in the loop. I've got this neck. This is the neck for it, and it's a nice neck. I may go ahead and sand it a little bit more. As you know, a bunch of these necks I've bought or came with kits. I sanded them down because they were just too fat. You know, I'm never really that concerned about the width of the fretboard, because I got small hands. I've dealt with that my whole career. So, you know, like I said before, when I play a guitar that's got a bolt on neck, my hand is like that instead of like that, because I can't, you'll see it once in a while if you watch my videos really, really close, and I watch them over and over and over and comment on how wonderful they are and inspiring they are. Anywho, so let me show you this. This is kind of funny. But, you know, my other Paul Reed Smith, well, it's got bat inlays of all things. But, you know, Paul Reed Smiths have these bird inlays on them. And these guys did a pretty good job of that, up until you get to the last couple ones. And as you can see, this last one here is just a blob. If that was a Paul Reed Smith, that would be a very distinct little bird of some kind. Anyways, you know, that's just kind of what happens. You know, these aren't perfect. And, you know, they're not made to be perfect. I don't know if you can see my outline, my little pencil outline I took that off my PRS. So this part will have to be cut off to make it more realistic. And that's just kind of a goofy looking tip on the headstock there. Anyways, I just wanted to keep you guys in the loop, and I understand this isn't a video that's showing you a whole bunch of great stuff. It's just, and I'm not playing anything. So anyways, there you go. And one of the other things about these, let me get this information out there too. From what I can understand, when you put these things together, let's just put it together for a second. Okay, so that's basically together, all right? So if you look, I don't know how good I can show this to you, but the pickup cavity on the front or the neck pickup is not carved out with this slab here as deep as that. So, because I've watched enough of these videos, these guys putting them together, my SG was like this, but this piece here is, they didn't mill it down or whatever they do quite enough. You don't want to take a lot off, but I can get away with taking at least an 1/8 inch off of here, because when I put this in there, put my humbucker in there, it wouldn't even go down. It would go down about 2/3 of the way, and that was it. So, you know, the pickup ring was still an 1/8 inch off the top of the body. So that will have to be cut down, and that's just something that you got to do. And some of these poor guys, they get the whole dang thing put together, it's glued together, then they realize they can't put their dang pickup in there, so they have to figure out a way to hack this off of here. So I'm going to be, well, not smart, but ahead of the game, because I'm going to go ahead and cut that down first. You know, this is the strength. This whole glue-in part here and on the bottom is just the total strength of these guitars. So you don't want to cut too much off. You still want to have a nice big chunk there. But that'll be, you know, an 1/8 inch off of there isn't going to hurt anything, and that'll let the pickup sit right where it's supposed to. Anywho, like I said, I'm going to stain this puppy, make her look good. It's starting to get pretty smooth, but there's still just a few, especially right here. There's some real ridges, and if I got it finished and cleared it off and it was all beautiful, it would have these little waves in it. You're not going to find a PRS or a Fender or a Gibson that has that at all. You know, if they are, they've been rejected, sold as a second, or, you know, thrown away. Who knows? So anyways, I think that's about all we're going to talk about today. I keep it short and sweet. And I hope you guys are having a blessed day, a great day. We've actually been blessed with a day and a half of basically no smoke. Now, I'm probably shooting myself in the foot on that one, because I saw the smoke starting to come in from basically the northeast or the southeast, because those big fires in California are all in the eastern part, like Lake Tahoe, and we're not even close to there, but the wind blows it in. But we've got fires up north of us and to the west of us and the east of us, so it doesn't really matter which way the wind blows, it blows the smoke in. But luckily, thank you Lord, we've had a couple of days of just beautiful blue sky. So anywho, I hope this is of interest up to you. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't. Put a comment in, say, hey, do a blue burst, do a brown burst, do a purple burst, do a green burst. You know, my kid's already, you know, he's Mr. Green, so he's green it, Dad, green it. So, and that was my other son's favorite color too, was green. God rest his soul. What a wonderful man he was. Anyways, let's end it here, and you guys just have a good day. Take care, and we're just going to keep on keeping on as usual, and I'll just keep you up to date. Hopefully, the next video will be back on the Duosonic, and I'll be showing you some cool stuff, because this probably isn't going to get worked on too soon as far as actual starting to get it fitted and put it together. Just have a great day. Bye-bye.